Check, check, check. Do I remember how all of this works? Hey folks, Dave here, and yes, we are back in Fallout 4, and I guess, yes, I'm just back, period. I'm trying to remember how all this usually goes. It has been a while. Some of you guys might have noticed that most of the videos that I've uploaded this summer have been ones that were recorded quite a while ago, and I just hadn't finished editing those yet, with the exception of, I guess, maybe the Hell Let Loose preview. It has been an interesting summer, to say the least, and I wanted to give you guys an update on where I've been, what's been going on, what's coming up here in the future as I try and get back in the saddle, if you will, with Battlefield 2042 just around the corner, and with a bunch of projects that I want to get back to. I need to find my workflow again here, guys, so come along with me for some building in Fallout today and some updates too, if you guys are interested in hearing about a bit about what's going on. There are some cool things coming up in the future too that I want to tease a bit, but also I just want to give you guys kind of an update. So we are here at Abernathy Farm. First off, let's get this out of the way. Where we are, what's going on, all that good stuff. This is the Minutemen farming settlement that I'm working on. Have been working on for quite a while. Haven't been back in probably a year, I think, to work on it. And I figured this would be a fun one to come back to. Although I forgot to freeze time, so it's going to storm now, it looks like. The idea behind this settlement was that it's going to be the farming core of all the other settlements, kind of a old castle style, with strong fortress walls, lots of farm fields outside, and living quarters and stuff in the center. If you guys remember, we built a bar here at the top and a radio station. If you have not been around for all of that, I won't spoil it. We're not going to tour anything today. I want to save some of that for the final tour with Joel, who will be back for the next one, which won't be here. But anyway, we're going to build some down on the ground level today while I just give you guys some updates. And I should probably go ahead and go into build mode because I have so many mods installed, it takes like 40 seconds to open build mode even on this computer. And speaking of which, speaking of computers, you guys should keep an eye out for some announcements in the next month or so about some possible hardware sponsorships coming up. So keep your eyes peeled for that. For now, into build mode we go. There we go. Weather set, and actually that's a bit easier to see. Again, bear with me, guys, as I haven't recorded anything live besides that Hell Let Loose video in, I guess, a couple of months now. I also spent most of yesterday outside working, and my sinuses and throat are a bit shot. I believe, which mod is it that I installed last year? Came with a bunch of really, really cool presets for ramshackle structures, which would be perfect. Yes, prefabs. For this farming settlement inside the walls. Yes! Okay. So yeah, what has been going on? Where have I been? Things are going pretty good this summer. We started out in May with filming that Fallout target shooting challenge for 9-hole reviews and in-range TV. You guys can expect some results from that coming up here pretty soon, I think. That was a lot of fun to shoot. But right after that, in mid-June, this summer of madness started off with our washing machine breaking spectacularly and flooding our laundry room, causing tons of water damage, and racking up a bunch of nice bills for us. So we obviously had to replace the washing machine, but the room required some extensive renovation and all that good stuff. So I got super angry about it and said, you know what? That's one of our rooms that was not quite yet finished in our remodel anyway. Let's just go all in and just get it repaired and looking nice. So yeah, in mid-June I started with repairing the water damage and decided to go all in with cutting a hole in the house and installing windows to get some natural light in the laundry room, and tearing up tile and redoing it, redoing damaged sheetrock, installing beadboard, basically settlement building in real life. I'm trying to find some shacks here that I like. Oh yeah, here we go. Shack warehouse. So I mean, since mid-June, almost every single weekend has been focused on that remodeling and repairing project. That's where a bunch of my time went. Gotta find room for this warehouse. I think maybe on the left side here. Get it a little off the walls. Settler is just gonna warp through it. I believe all these are nav meshed as well, so that they can actually walk through them. But right when I was really starting to get some progress done on the laundry repairs / remodel in early July, my dad ended up in the hospital with quite a set of issues. He had an extreme diabetic sugar issue. His sugar was over 800 at one point, and he was basically nonsensical. He should have been unconscious, but thankfully was not. Just not feeling how that's fitting right there. Besides the sugar issue, he'd had a mild heart attack. He had some near complete blockages in his heart. He had to get a stent put in the ER as soon as he got there. He also had Rocky Mountain spotted fever all at the same time, and so that was a week right there. You know, getting the text in the morning that ambulance is coming for your dad, and get over here as soon as you can, and it was just not looking good there for a while. He had to go through some pretty extensive physical therapy afterwards, but he's back at his house now, back home, and he's recovering quite well. But that was a scary couple of weeks, and for a month plus, basically, it was hospital visits, and then we were helping drive him to his physical therapy and his ridiculous regimen of medicines and all that stuff. So yeah, that was July. After the washing machine and laundry room incident started. And then in the midst of all of that, our dog, those of you guys that follow me on Twitter will have seen her many times over the year, Lily, a little Chihuahua Shih Tzu mix. We'd had her for quite a long time. In July, she started not wanting to eat, was having a bad hacking cough, and all kinds of bad signs like that. Got her to the vet finally, and we knew she had some heart issues, congestive heart failure that was in progress but slow, and it was just looking like that was not looking good at all. There's less room in these walls than I remember. I've kind of plenty of stuff everywhere. But unfortunately, she passed away. I guess third week of August it was. We were just grateful that we got. Thanks to the vet, an extra week with her. She was home. She got to be her usual self for a while, but she was almost 13 years old and just wasn't holding up well. But that came as it was a shock because she'd been home for a week, and we were starting to get kind of hopeful. Oh, maybe things are going to look up, but unfortunately that was not the case, and that's been quite an adjustment because we've had her since we got married. My wife and I. She got her the year we got engaged, about 6 months before. So when we got married, bought our first house, and all that fun stuff, she's always been there, and now she's not, and it's really strange around here. Even with Micah, it's very quiet now without her clickety clacking from room to room, and it's just been quite an adjustment. I never thought that I would have been one for small dogs, but she was not your usual small dog personality. Thankfully, she was great. She was a Chihuahua Shih Tzu mix. I'll put up some photos here, but thankfully had much more of the Shih Tzu personality. But her personality always reminded me a lot more of the Sheltie that I had when I was growing up. She was super smart, listened well, knew where her yard was, and was great with Micah as well. So we're gonna miss her, and that has been an adjustment. And on top of trying to figure out how to get back in the saddle here with recording some content. There's tons of projects that I want to work on here. That happening just a couple weeks ago just really threw a wrench into things. I just took a little bit of extra time to figure out what was next. Apparently what was next is a bit of a heart-to-heart here with you guys. Well, that's one thing I've always appreciated about this channel in particular, is that You know, this isn't my full-time job. It's always been a side project, a pretty successful one at times, but we've always had a nice little community here, and you guys have been great about me taking my sweet time with projects and just generally disappearing when I need to, when life takes over. And so, yeah, thanks for that, guys. I appreciate the patience. You guys have always been super, super patient, which is absolutely appreciated. Don't know if this rail car is going to actually fit in here. We may need to rethink this barn. Yeah, so that's, you know, I guess the three horsemen of the apocalypse for my summer so far. There's been other, you know, fun miscellaneous things along the way. You know, life is crazy. We're still in a pandemic. Oh, yeah, I think it was the week right before Lily passed that we had one of our water lines burst too in the yard that, you know, feeds the house. Thankfully not the primary water line, but one of the ones for our gardens. We came outside to get the mail, and there was a volcano of water in the yard, and we're going, what is the deal with this year? Thankfully that wasn't the primary water line though. Hoping to actually, you know, bring in maybe some contractors here and get some backup on some of these projects, just so I can get back to my usual swing of things. I think I'm ready to admit when it's time for me to accept some help for some of these things, which is a weird step for me too, but I think it's about that time. Do we actually need this barn? I don't think we do. I'm just gonna hide it for now, store it in the workshop, because we have this awkward hill here that's really steep. I wanted some more housing out of this rail car that, you know, the Minutemen have dragged up here with I want to call them oxen. Man, it's been so long. What are the cows called in Fallout? Not oxen. I swear I just saw one. Ah, the two-headed cows. By the way, if you guys haven't gotten COVID yet, like I did in December, the brain fog is real. Brahmin. Just remembered. Man, it took us months to get over the brain fog, and still it feels like sometimes it's still lingering, still holding on. So this is actually one of the things I was really looking for here, is these little wooden cabins. I think this would be great for like Minutemen farmers. Nice cozy single family cabin, pretty luxurious for the apocalypse, to be honest. Only the best for the Minutemen. You've got crops right outside your door. Okay, we'll leave the wall installed there. I may actually do a couple of these. I was looking for these and just pass right by them. For those of you wondering why I'm leaving some things floating here, it's because I want to come back through and add a few things. Support beams and platforms and the usual. You guys know how this works if you've been here for a while. Is that gonna fit back there? Oh yeah. Just slide it in like that. Then we'll get some platforms underneath these. I like to go into free cam and see how things are looking. Well, that is sunk into the ground. But I do like the sharecropper cabin feeling. Feels very old school. Do one here as well. This feels almost like an Age of Empires settlement down here. There we go. Some of the controls are coming back to me here. It has been probably close to 3 months since I worked on anything in Fallout. So I am both rusty and a bit behind as usual. This is just relaxing, though. Man alive. It is always relaxing. I have been getting my building on in Anno 1800 as well. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing some content from that game. That is a deep and crazy, huge strategy game. Not quite a city builder, but there's a lot of building and designing that goes into it. And if you guys know here how I do my Fallout settlements, you'll know how I have been building in Anno too. Lots of careful planning and decoration, and I was actually thinking about bringing Joel over for just a quick tour of my empire in Anno 1800, because I know that he would get so angry at how I've organized things and designed things and carefully named all my ships after certain events that happened in my campaign. And for those of you guys that were around in the Total War, Empire Total War specifically days, you'll also know how into those campaigns I get. You know, when you have a long-form campaign that's been going on for hundreds of hours and you've got all these little events, kind of your own custom alternate history that's happened. I love those kinds of strategy games, and I've been getting that kind of fix out of Anno 1800. So yeah, let me know if you guys want to see what I've been up to over there, and I might try to get Joel in there for a tour as well. This is more of like a warehouse style shack. And we've got a bunch of housing that's going to go in the farm tower here, so I don't want to go too crazy with shacks. Especially seeing I've basically already gone crazy. Yeah, we already had the barn here. I'm going to leave that other barn put away for now. I forgot about the garage door that closes over the gate. I love it. This settlement's actually come a lot further than I remembered. It's a lot closer to completion than I thought it was. It just needs some, really some residential decorations. So we have a lot of residences. They're going to have some detailing. Should I replace one of the shacks with this? Now let's replace this one with this one. Lots of undergrowth in their shack. Cool. That, I think, is going to do it for our pre-made shacks. Corner office. This is a tough little area to detail. You guys can see I've built some angled ramps here just because of all these crazy hills. I already built tons of little fences and all too. Wow, I forgot the word fences. Yeah, we're gonna call it there for shacks. Oh look, vendor shacks. Okay, we gotta have our farmers market shacks out front. Most of this food is going to be going straight to Minutemen coffers and supply trains, but I think on this side we'll set up just a little farmer's market for those who want to come in off the wasteland and pick up some fresh produce. Only mildly irradiated. Those are cool. Is that just a awning, or? That's interesting. It's it says cover. Not sure what it snaps to though. Do have these guys. I'll make these feel a bit more unique. This is, again, not what they're supposed to snap to, but that has never stopped me before. And, as usual, my disclaimer for any of these Let's Builds is a lot of what you guys see here is the initial prototyping and framing things out, and I go back later for some of the fine detailing, although we occasionally do some fine detailing in these videos too. But this is a long, layered process to build some of these more detailed settlements. Aha! Wooden prefabs for the porch. So yeah, not everything happens live, unfortunately. I'm going to use this wooden bridge as a deck because this building was not meant to have so much stuff floating. So we'll put it down like that. And turn off snapping for a minute. Can actually get that set up like that. And we have start to our stairs. Nice. Door frame kit. Oh, that's handy. Double doors. Let's do one more section here. Plywood. And do they have stairs here? Building fences, deadlands. Dead lights. Oh yeah, these are cool. Just prop lights that don't actually cast any real light, you know, to kill your frame rate. I don't see any stairs. Prefabs. Modular platform. I guess I could have used that for the deck, right? I'm actually going to use some of these for our shack foundations. They're pretty cool looking. Use one like that. Won't quite make it over into the corner, so I will just fake it like that. And then just do one like this. Clip it into the other. Because you won't be able to see back there in that corner anyway. So make the part you can see look good, right? Let's see. I wonder what this warehouse is actually going to be used for. Because we have the barn for the Brahmin. And the pen for them. So maybe it'll be Brahmin feed and stuff like that. Gonna have to take it out the back. Ooh, yeah, if I extend the railing and the platform over... Oh, that table's built in. I was gonna say we can extend the railing and platform over and they can just come on down with the Brahmin feed for the barn. So this building really needs to be the other way around if it's gonna be our Brahmin feed. I think I'll do that. I'll spin that around. I do like the look of those little cabins. I'm going to try to resist the urge to, you know, overstuff this interior space like I like to do. In fact, I might get rid of this cabin right here when I'm spinning things around. Because we want some crops inside the wall too, even though we're going to have minigun and missile turrets to help protect the crops outside. You want to have as much as possible inside the walls, I think, in this apocalyptic scenario. Okay. Let's spin this guy around. Just hide this for now. And a lot of the designing part of making these settlements is a lot of this back and forth. You try something, doesn't quite work. You're just thinking out loud. It's true of anything design-wise, really, is iteration is your friend. The more time you spend on something, rethinking it, instead of just randomly picking a direction and running with it, the more iterations you do, generally speaking, the better off you're going to be. The better off your design is going to be, just speaking in general terms. Yeah, I'll leave that back door like that. So this is going to be our Brahmin feed storage and probably like fertilizer, a lot of stuff like that. So I wanted this larger door with the patio facing towards the Brahmin pens. I will still need, it looks like, to do that bridge piece. Where did that go? There it is. Use that bridge piece for our deck again. Use that triangle floor piece if I flip it around as our little stair here. Step down. And step up. Let's do 2 of them here. They just look unique. You know, you don't see these pieces as often as some of the others. Go back to our official wood category here. And get a nice big staircase. We're going to need a couple of those. Wow, this slope is kind of crazy. Even 2 is not quite going to do it. Well, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. Just add this platform off to the side here. So that's our back door, not used as often. And while we're here, going to go ahead and extend the stairway over this direction too. It's not really a stairway, I guess, more of a just walkway, catwalk almost. So that leaves just enough room to get around that corner. Then for our gap that I purposefully left here, you can use some cool pieces like this. Give it some visual uniqueness. Ooh, too much. Now we can actually walk across it too. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, warehouse is looking good. That turret's definitely clipping right through. So with our warehouse actually positioned kind of how I want it now, that wall angle made things slightly awkward. I think that works relatively well. Need a turret platform up there for that thing so it's not floating. And we still need a turret platform here in the corner. One for our little generator too. So if I can remember where those are, I might go ahead and put those down. Actually, let's do this first. Concrete floors. I want these for our ramp. Actually, let's put a base down. This one right here, the foundation piece with the actual concrete. And with the magic of place everywhere, we can get our ramp going. I generally prefer, I think, the relative to player setting for rotation. It just tends to work a little bit better when you can kind of line up your cursor and your player's view with what you want to rotate, because the global axis, you know, that Bethesda used in the world could be way off from what you're trying to build. When you're working with the in-game editor, nothing's going to be perfect, but yeah, rotating things based on your perspective, I think, is just a little bit more intuitive most of the time, just from what I've found. Whew. I think this scrap needs to be moved up top. It's in the way. Can I move you? No, you're busy working on it. I'll move that once he's done welding. I think I have time pause, so that's going to mess with him not ever being done. That's going to have to get moved to open up the walkway for sure. Did I actually get that pretty close? Yeah, not bad. I'm going to go with that right there. So we'll leave most of that just open for loading. Ow, that hurts. That highlight, it's bright. Alright, it's a little tilted. There we go. Alright. I do like how that warehouse and main gate is set up, where it just leads right into the Brahmin pen and some of the crop fields. Fortunately, my voice is going already. Can you guys tell? It's been a while. So, I gotta find a couple of things I want to wrap up with you guys while you're here. Let's do this. Let's do a couple of turret platforms, because we have the wall over here. We can kind of attach this one like this, you know, where they built it onto the wall, so I don't have to go find the one with the supports underneath. Ah, laser turret, very fancy. I am going to leave this generator up here as like a backup power source, but obviously the fact that you can shoot it from outside the wall is not super secure. So it will also be attached to our main power supply once that's going. I haven't quite figured out where that's going to be. You know, honestly, probably in the warehouse. Or, wait, is there one inside of the main tower here? A little bit of fusion generation. No, just sleeping quarters. Yeah, okay. Or maybe instead of the warehouse, maybe the rusted metal shack here in the center, that could be our power supply. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let me go ahead and drop that down before I forget. And we're definitely going to have a lot of solar too. And some windmills. So I'll put an extra windmill on top here. These don't do much power, but they look awesome. And they fit our theme for sure. Our fusion generator is going to be in here for sure. Boy, that is a tight fit. This would have been a shack that was built around this sucker, I think. I'll just leave that power cable poking up. That actually works pretty well. It's clipping a little bit, but it doesn't really look like it. That's pretty convincing. Ha! Power shack. That worked out nicely. Is that square? That's mostly square. This has been my life with the laundry room repairs, guys. Is it square? Is it level? The answer is usually no. The answer is usually, this is going to take a lot more time than expected. some of this I'm just putting down possibly temporarily as a reminder of what I want to do later. Like, I want to have more of this solar probably all over the central tower. You know, I don't want to crash my game by putting 100 of them up there, but we have some nice tall walls here facing the sunlight. That would be great solar panel options. Okay, we have our power supply shack kind of sketched out. I like how that's going to go. Our warehouse is in place and ready for some furniture and decorations. The ramp's good. Whew. All right, guys, let's do this. This is going to be a shorter Let's Build. I'm not going to cut it down as much. And we won't be getting as much done, but I just got to go easy on my voice. I'm just really trying to get back in the saddle with this video. And then we're going to have some additional stuff coming in the coming weeks, I hope, for as I really get back in the swing of things here. And then I can, now that I'm more comfortable again with all of this goodness, I can get back in there and get back to work on the secret project settlement that Joel knows about the basic idea of, but doesn't know what's going to entail it. I know that's super vague, but there is a secret settlement that Joel is going to be touring. And again, he knows the overall theme of it, because it was kind of his idea, but he does not have any idea the level of RangerDave obsessiveness that has gone into it. I started working on that thing, I mean, specking out the location and doing some creation kit modding stuff to get it ready back in November, I think it was. That is going to be a super fun tour. I'm excited for that one. You guys aren't ready for that surprise. Anyway, I'll stop hyping that now, and we'll just do a couple decorations. So this will be a unmarried workers shack. So we're gonna fit 2 of them in here. You know, you're not trying to get a whole family in there. You've got a couple of well, there are some kids' toys, but you know what? People can collect. That's fine. Everyone needs a hobby, right? Really, not many options for shelving that's on the ground here, so let's do some wall shelving. And to do that, we also need to make sure that we're using do-it-yourself. So that we can snap things to it and make it look all nice. Yeah, wow, this is going to be a tight fit. And you know, guys, before I forget, something we also need to think about is our toilets. Realistic settlement requires toilets for a farm. I think we're going to see a basically latrine system. I don't think we're going to have a lot of plumbing options. You know, we've got some wells here, but I'm thinking the toilets for this settlement are going to be underneath this defensive wall. We're just going to have a huge bathroom underneath here and shower. We have this nice open space. It's already taken up by the wall. So I'm going to place some toilets here, not permanently, just as a reminder for next time I'm building here, that this is what I want to use this space for. And I think we're going to use a latrine style system, maybe with water that's just flushed from one side. I think, what is it? CVC has some doghouse, counters. I think it has some toilet options. Or was it thematic and practical? I'm gonna have to dig for those, but somewhere's got like real scrappy looking, no pun intended, I guess, crappy looking toilets. And I think that would be perfect for placing on top of a trench latrine system with a water source on this side, kind of running downhill to clear it all out. We can put our showers in this section here. Maybe a couple outdoor showers too if we're getting the mud off if you've been farming all day. and it can kind of lead down to down here, and then we'll have a pump or drainage system to get it outside the settlement. And correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, but you really are not supposed to use human waste as fertilizer, right? So we really shouldn't be pumping this right into our crop field. So I think, unless you guys tell me that no, human fertilizer is great for crops, I think we're going to have the latrine system drain out this corner and kind of go through these bushes. And yeah, there we go, downhill. Yeah, that actually works well. And that would be kind of fun to build a latrine system. I know that sounds ridiculous, but to build a custom latrine system that you might actually see in an apocalyptic farm like this. I actually really like that idea, so I'm going to put that in my notes so I don't forget. Oh, the wooden foundations too. Ah, man, these are the ones I was looking for back of my head here for this stuff. I'm going to place that one there so I remember that it's in here for when I need that again. Yeah, that latrine idea I think is going to be awesome, but again, it just sounds so ridiculous. It's going to be an awesome latrine, guys, but I think theme-wise, thematically, it's going to fit in really well here. So for do-it-yourself. Everyone should have their own little stash of ammo. Little stash of ammo. I like this being the DIY ammo too. Someone's got a nice sniper rifle over the bed. Those shelves are not big enough for those ammo crates. Oh, somebody's awake. I hear feet outside the office. Somebody's knocking. Gotta have a rug too. Somebody's awake. Alright guys, Micah is up from his nap, so I'm going to go ahead and cut comms here because he's about to start really banging on that door to see where Dada is. But I'm gonna, without comms, just drop some music in here, and we're gonna get a couple more decorations going, and I think a light for in here too. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next video, which hopefully won't be too long. See you guys.